Hello and welcome to the Shardverse 1385. Today was brought to you by Boards, Booze, and Bitches. It's food worth dying over. So, to get this started, we're having some issues with the rules because these guys all raised and their mechs raised, and we're trying to figure out how the best way to actually raise mechs is. And the fun part, of course, is the main person that knows everything, uh, who is both temperance and charity, otherwise known as Nightheart, is the one that knows the rules best, and they were indisposed until momentarily.
So we get to
So,
have this conversation in front of you. Did you sign up for hot, fast, rules nerd lawyering? Because if you didn't, fuck you.
we will get
Hey,
to some fun stuff. I actually do have a prepared battle map.
you know what? The thing is though, the positive to take away from this is if you have questions about mech rules, you can listen to us debate about them and watch how we fuck it up.
Because
Absolutely.
I did look,
Exactly.
and everyone, you're behind. Seriously, everything was from when we did the mech concept rules, and not since we did actual mech rules. I feel like that I am on ground that I should not be on. But we're here anyway, and we're gonna figure this
Well,
out.
what is
That's-
the
Rowan.
what is the question?
Gesture, go ahead.
So we were talking about leveling up the mechs, and
Yes.
the way that the passage reads is a couple of different ways. The weaker argument is, and this is interpretation mostly for the GM, but he wanted to defer back to what your thoughts were on it. I'll actually give you. Let me
It's
find
page
it.
108.
Is it 108?
Yes, 108. We have
Let
mech
me-
upgrades followed by
Alright. So
refitting and upgrading.
refitting and upgrading mechs. In some campaigns, the PCs might have access to the same mechs over time. In this case, the PC's character levels increase, so too do their mechs become more powerful, granting them additional mech points with which they can upgrade their machines. These additional points could represent salvage, blah, 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 blah. Basically telling about how you could potentially have gotten the resources to do it. The GM may require you to go to a safe workshop, which we all assume is probably the thing we got to do anyway.
Have one. Why wouldn't you go there?
But it says, in addition to gaining additional mech points, gaining levels can increase the party's average party level, which can increase their mech's maximum tier. Increasing the
Yes.
tier can impact the mech's attack modifiers, skill modifiers, strength modifiers, AC, and more. Now, the way that the mech rules are read, all of your base frame, your arms and your legs, your weapons, all of it is a multiplier cost based
Of
on
your
your mech's
tier.
tier.
Yes.
So when you upgrade your mech, you are actually going to have to pay, you're actually going to have to rebuild it and have it and pay for it based off the new tier. And what that means is for those of you who are 2 to a mech, will be able to upgrade much faster than the rest of us that are 1 to a mech. Because those of us that are 1 to a mech, I did the math, and rebuilding it at my mech as a tier 2 mech means I have to lose my missile battery and my rotary cannon. I'm not terribly worried about that in the short term, but my question is as we go longer, and I'm going to probably do the concept crafting and do the actual math work for what it looks like at tier 3, tier 4, etc. But what happens is if I reach if I get to tier 3, I may end up having to give up more, which means my mech gets stronger in terms of attack power and in terms of 2-hit and damage of weapons and to armor class and all of that, but I start having to lose weapons to the point and features to the point where the mech is not as good. So the question is, if we're doing that, the weaker argument is to interpret that as the extra, you've built your mech, these extra mech points are just what you can do to build on top of what you've already got, or it's a matter of you can upgrade your mech tier but you have to pay the full cost for the frame and the base, which means you're going to lose some things. If that's the case, that means people in single mechs like myself or Computer King may have to bank points for a couple of levels, which means those of you in multiple, and I don't know if you guys have done the math on upgrading your mechs yet, but it could potentially mean that you guys fast outpace the rest of us, which means it'll make encounter building for Chris much more difficult. Which means if we're which means basically that whenever we raise a mech, tier on a mech, we all kind of need to be a part of the discussion so that we can kind of make sure that we're in line to where we're not overwhelming, running ahead of ourselves. So we've got a tier 5 mech and a tier 2 mech. That's going to be a much harder battle to plan for and a much harder battle for us, because enemies that are going to be able to stand up to the tier 5 mech are going to overwhelm the tier 2 mechs,
Well,
possibly tier 3 mechs even. If I'm like a level behind you guys, if Computer King and I are like one tier behind you guys, it's not a big difference. We start falling 2 or 3 tiers behind you. If we have to bank mech points to be able to keep the mech going the way it needs to go and not lose weapons and stuff over time, features over time, then we kind of need to find some kind of balance here.
well,
But our question is, how do you interpret that whole thing?
here's
What are your
how
thoughts?
here's how I've done it. Granted, this is the first time I've ever built mechs in this system, and I've only upgraded it once. But I think you do have to rebuy your frame because of the advancement. You have to rebuy your core because of how the cores work. I don't think you have to rebuy the arms and legs. I think they can stay that tier. And doing that, well, you also don't have to bring up the weapon all the way to your current tier. The weapons can all stay at tier 1 and will do tier 1 damage. But if you pay to bring them up to a higher level, which can never go above the mech's tier level, which in our case is 3 because our average player level is 3, you can leave them at level 1 or you can upgrade them to tier 3, which will cost more points. And then you have to pay once for any mech upgrades you have, like unbreakable armor or reinforced frame or whatever.
Right.
Because those are for leftover points.
Okay. So those you don't have to rebuy when you upgrade your mech.
I'm pretty sure you don't, because they're upgrades. And even if you do, I ran the numbers, and I could afford to up everything to tier 3 so long as I was not paying for the arms and legs. And that is something I wanted to bring up, is arms and legs seem like something you buy once. Because, yeah, it says per tier, so if I was swapping out, I would pay more, because in that case, I'm changing out what I already had, and that changes the stats going forward.
So you're looking at it as a modular thing.
Yes, because...
So you're looking at it in a more modular manner.
Yeah, because the way it just says for like legs is they modify a variety of the mech's statistics and might grant additional movement options or provide additional use for power points. Some upper limbs have attack modifiers marked with an asterisk. Choose either the melee or range attack modifier and increase it by 1 when you purchase these limbs. So, I feel like...
that is a pretty, like, final sort of thing of, like, when you purchase as opposed to every time you upgrade.
Yeah, that feels like the language there implies that the arms and legs are something more modular, while the frame does have to be upgraded because of the fact that that's where your HP advancement comes from. For example, I have a troop tank mech. Base HP of 15, HP advancement of 10. And then I get an additional HP advancement from, I think, my legs. So When I upgrade it to tier 2, I add another 10. When I upgrade to tier 3, I add another 10.
So would that make the scaling for a single mech worse? Because I can see the argument for
They
that.
are still going to be a tier behind us. But
Yeah,
that is
and
peak.
I think that's because multiple players' levels are getting involved because there's less
Well, you're-
tactical.
It's because
Well,
there's
there's
more
more
mech
points per
points
mech.
per PC.
Right.
Right, exactly. That's what I mean is like more from the design philosophy as opposed to the direct numbers. It makes sense that a single person manned mech is going to be a bit weaker because you're trying to compensate for two players in one mech and kind of
Right.
reconciling that two players will be more powerful, but I think it's
Right.
probably more of a linear curve than it is like an exponential curve.
Yes, it is. It is something linear. And that's because what we're doing is not what this system was designed for. This system was
There we go.
designed.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
The system was designed for all of us to take all of our points, pool them together, and build
Right.
one mech.
Yeah. And
So,
And that's a
my-
problem that came up with shipbuilding as well, whenever we had multiple ships before they had the official expansion for
Rules.
telling us how
And
to
this-
do that.
And this
And we
is
still
something that
did
could
that.
be expanded in errata. But as I read it now, arms and legs are one-time purchases that you could then say, I don't like these legs, I want something else. Well, I'm going to have to pay a bit more.
Jester, we didn't hear you on game.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
still muted.
Check your chart!
Nope, you're
Nope.
still not doing anything.
Did you mute yourself on Discord? No.
No, he's not Discord muted. Did you
Have you
get
tried-
unplugged?
Yeah, are you unplugged? Did you old man it? It sounded
While we're-
important. That's the only reason I brought it up. So,
yeah,
but I-
okay.
want to make that, go ahead and make that canon and be like, at this moment until we find out we're wrong, arms and legs will be one-time purchases that you can reuse.
Okay.
So that will help everyone there at the very least.
Right. Let's see.
Are you there, Jester? Try
I heard
singing.
something.
I heard something.
I feel like we're on like.
Are we there?
There we
Yeah,
go.
Yeah,
there
there
we
we
go.
Unplugged set and plugged it back in.
All right.
Um,
Sorry. Now, what were you
I was-
saying?
I was basically saying I was wondering where you got the whole thing, paying only once for the arms and legs. That was the big thing. One of my biggest questions there was.
Part of it is fiat, but also some of the language with how it talks about it
Right,
sounds
well,
more final.
Right, and I had not seen that passage, and I probably would have felt the same way because a lot of it is interpretation sometimes, and
Yeah, and
Yeah,
and
because
to
here's
take away
another
from-
thing. It says on frames and on weapons, it mentions that their cost is based on the mech's tier. It mentions that explicitly.
you know,
So it feels more like that means that there's supposed to be things that grow up.
Yeah, and for the audience that will be watching this in the future, because like this is just something you have to do with games sometimes, and it's good to be able to have these conversations and to be able to like directly interact with your GM, come to a consensus. I think it's like communicating is one of the most important things at the table, and especially on something that's not explicitly said in the rules, is definitely something that you want to clarify before it becomes like a problem.
Right.
So yeah,
Yeah.
hopefully
otherwise-
this brings us some long form conversation templating that you could work with your group if you have trouble with things like this.
Otherwise, guaranteed, at least 3 of us would have interpreted it differently and raised our mechs according to how we interpreted.
Oh yeah,
And then been angry at the others for being like, well, you saved yourself like 25 points, Jester. What the hell?
yeah,
If I'd had those 25 points, I'd still be alive right now.
yeah, exactly. It's heading off problems, and This is the kind of shit that happens in everything. Whenever, like, especially if you play stuff like for more broad appeal, like if you play Unearthed Arcana stuff with your GM, like these conversations like
Oh, yeah.
have to happen. Because I remember
Yeah.
I had a long conversation about Tunnel Fighter, which was an issue that
Oh,
we're
I
not
hate
gonna get.
Tunnel
We're not
Fighter.
we're not getting into it. We're not. I mentioned it, but we're not getting into it. But yeah, it's one of those things. Like this is how we do. So the consensus we came in on is that arms and legs are not repeated purchases. You don't have to upgrade your weapons, so they scale in that way. And one person mechs will be a tier behind typically, but that's kind of
Yeah.
fine because that's how it's designed.
Yes,
Yeah,
and
and
yeah, you don't have to upgrade weapons. They can be a tier behind.
Okay, sick. That feels concise and well packaged.
All right. And the bonus, of course, for all this, for the people that are watching at home, is we're not even using mechs this week because they're getting rebuilt.
Yeah.
But we need to know how to do it, and now we find ourselves aboard a starship.
So
Where is everyone? Jester? Or I'm sorry. Where are you? Nope, check the chart.
Oh god, I wonder if it's happening again.
let's see.
We'll give him 5 more seconds.
Well, looks like he's doing the thing.
Right? Due to technical difficulties, the Jester is currently waiting to tell us exactly where he is and what he's up to. And I know his name. I should. There they are.
Fable 42.
Fable 42, right? He's a video game for the 360, heck, the Xbox
Correct.
original.
He's the 42nd. Peter Molyneux's been busy.
Yes.
Yeah, and then none of them have still been as good as Fable 1.
True.
Right? But I do eat baby chickens in all of them, and that's all
Absolutely.
I have to say about that.
Well done,
All right.
lad. The Beatles
Baking
are
chickens.
all dead.
So, in that case, let's start with someone else. Well, unless he's right back.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
All right, so I turn off my camera and we'll see if this works better. All right.
It's okay. We all got to see you with no hair.
Oh. I'll throw my camera on as penance. I look terrible, but I'll throw it on.
You's beautiful.
Ooh,
I mean,
shaved
you,
in several
you are not my
years.
punum, but
yeah. To answer your question, we're on a ship. We're on the ship, right? So probably going to be. I would imagine probably going to be the. I don't know. He might be in like. Let's say he's probably just in the mess hall. Yeah. Eating.
Do robots eat?
I'm an android.
Androids.
I'm giving you shit.
If I was playing an SRO, that might be valid. Might.
to bring everyone
Android.
up to speed as to why we're on this ship, because Captain Kerman forgot to say anything about that. He was just like, hey, we're leaving the mechs here. You guys get on board the ship. And then they hit drift, and you've been in drift for a while. But, there was an attack on Vesk Prime.
Mhm.
Yes, I
Ooh.
know I'm using core, but it'll be fine. And you guys have been sent in the fastest ship to get there without your mechs, because Kless seems to think that you are the most badass Ravi Kalak to ever be. Wow, I tried so hard.
He is.
Death to the buggers.
Yeah, he is. He is the best Nasaravi. Well, he doesn't think he's the best Nasaravi out there, but he does think that he is one of the best. He is effective at being a Ravi core. At achieving Ravi core, I guess would be the grammatical. Yeah.
Killing
Ravi
bugs dead.
Real
Yeah.
good at it.
I can't find your dictionary.
You can't?
Oh, there it is. I found it.
He's like, it's just my notes.
Listen, I just have to quote the Terrans a whole bunch.
True.
So, from initial reports
Damn.
that you've received on the way, or right before you hit drift, You know how Vest Prime has those giant caverns that go down like 40 miles into, the actual planet's surface?
Mm-hmm. I do now.
They're in there.
Yeah, they're really deep. Also, there's some magic doors from before the gap, and you can't open them. Everyone that's tried just is like, "Ow, that hurt a lot. I'm glad I'm not dead. I decided I don't want to do that no more." That sort of thing. They've also tried going through the walls, Mira. I'm sorry.
Uh-huh.
I was there too. I'm like, why does everyone try to go through the door when the wall is so much thinner?
Yep.
Nope, it doesn't work. Um, even in non-Jester games. But sidetracked. I'm sorry. Anyway, for you, Claire, uh, it's strange because normally the swarm doesn't bore into a planet.
Yeah.
Um, you guys were given some like high level clearance shit from the Veskarium, and apparently wherever they wedged themselves into, that the main fight has been about, uh, is at a few years back they found an underground city down there, and they tried to go be like, who the fuck is down here? Why haven't you been paying taxes? Uh, you have better weapons than us. And they found out they did have better weapons because everyone that goes down there dies.
Oh.
And a few readings that they did get from the people before, they just disappeared. Like energy source, immense readings, superior weapons,
Hot girl shit.
hot, super hot. Like
Super
Alanis
hot.
Morissette in 1991 hot.
Damn. It's pretty fucking hot.
All right. Perms. Yay. Okay. Was that a chicken hand?
No, it's
No,
baby
it was a
hands.
baby hand.
Oh, okay.
Baby hands.
From the angle, I was like, are those claws? All right. Anyway. So that's what you guys are headed to. You're literally going to go to Vest Prime, get shipped straight across down to the caverns, and then basically get dropped 40 miles in to God only knows what. Well, Swarm only knows what.
Mm.
But you have time because for some reason the best pilot that you could find still made max on everything, and you're going to take a week to get there.
Jesus.
On the same note, that means you, Claire, know that it's only going to get worse.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Every 60 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
I mean, Claire would just assume in general that everything's going to get worse because, you don't underestimate this enemy. Even if they don't repopulate for some reason, they're smart. And the more that they get to examine their surroundings, the more likely they are to find another tool to use.
Okay. So, where's everyone else? Charity?
Charity's actually probably up on the bridge if they'd let him because he wants to be a pilot. He's good at piloting. So he's probably been watching over the pilot's shoulder the whole time if they'd let him.
Give me a diplomacy check. Also, do you know Vesk?
Yes, he does know Vesk.
Excellent. Continue from there.
Yeah, diplomacy.
Or bluff, I guess, if it's better.
Is his bluff
no.
better? Let me check.
Huh.
It probably isn't because it doesn't get the Citadel influence, so that's actually a 17.
Nice. There you
Nice.
go. The dice are favoring you already.
So, say something pleasant in Vesk.
So he's like, I hate to interrupt, especially such mighty conquerors such as yourself, but I believe that if we are to defeat the swarm in such a way, we must learn to grow strong from one another. By which I mean, it would be nice if I was able to understudy amongst your wonderful pilot here.
I like you. Stay. Slap on back.
Dies.
Oh, wait. I'm sorry. I was Vesk from the regular Shrike verse. Well, I appreciate it very much that you think so highly of us. Please learn from the best. Soldier, teach him everything you know. Mhm. That's often why they think lollipop is like your accent is strange.
Oh,
Huh.
and like he
Mm.
hears like that he's allowed there, and he like happy child skips on over and is bouncing in place, just talking shop. Like he knows a lot about piloting. He knows a
Okay,
lot about piloting.
make a. Oh my gosh, I forgot the name. Um, it's also responsible for your languages. Culture check.
Yeah,
Thank you.
culture.
No, 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 no.
Hey.
That's good enough. So you know not to get too giddy.
Yeah, he's
They are Vesk.
he's right at that limit though, where he's like,
Mm.
you can visibly see. There's actually, yeah, maybe there's a bit of like he has to attune himself to the resistance of energy, to where there's this faint mirage effect around him, like a wave that occasionally just travels out, but it just stills his movement just enough.
Mm. All right, and Galley. Rem, where are you? There you are.
What Rin? You're. Oh wait. Yeah. Sorry.
You're Claire.
Yeah. My brain.
You Claire. Me want Rem.
True.
Scott,
Rim
speak.
is probably in the medical thing, like attending to people, making sure they're better, and
Mm.
further studies.
Excellent. You're cleaning, because everyone is well right now. The battle is not commenced. Oh wait, someone just came in with a boo-boo.
They've got a widow
Give
cold.
them
Go
a
ahead.
band-aid.
Yeah, well, make a medicine check.
Oh god, they've got face huggers.
That means it. Oh god, they may have facehuggers. No.
Oh god.
Okay. You managed to put on the band-aid, but on the wrong patient.
You put on the Hello Kitty Band-Aid when he wanted the Paw Patrol Band-Aid.
I want
Horror.
Popeye.
Get over it. It's a Band-Aid.
No, just take 20. It's faster. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Brad, I'm gonna put this band-aid on perfect. Hang on. There you go. Okay. You feel better. All right. So cool. Charity, I think you're technically in charge because Claire said he didn't want to be.
Wait,
they didn't.
in charge of what?
Us as a
Wait.
group.
Oh,
Mm.
yeah. No,
The 16-year-old is in
All right.
charge.
This is the time. Does someone want to fight to be in charge? Now.
so, probably
Okay.
not fighting, but, Kleb probably is almost constantly in the training, facilities, just, like, whipping ass. Like, he's like, you must be stronger if you wish to fight the Ravi, like, sort of thing.
You probably find Fable 42 there from time to time,
Yeah.
or fairly regularly, honestly.
Ah.
Does he train or does he just
No, he trains.
watch? Oh,
No, he
hell yeah.
trains. He trains. Thing is he identifies himself as a soldier because that's what he was.
Yeah.
That's what he started out as. He doesn't realize how much he's actually become more of. So
Would he train with Rim or not Rim with Cle? Jesus Christ, my brain.
of course he would.
Oh hell yeah.
both
Just so how
So-
just kind of out of
So
you know,
you would probably get. He prefers an archery style. He carries a bow for a reason. He tends to try to keep like a certain amount of distance so he can use his bow. He's quick
yeah.
enough with it that he can draw and fire all in the same round. He just
Yeah.
it's just for him. It's like firing a normal pistol would be
Oh,
for
yeah.
anybody else.
and I can
um,
imagine the spars probably go about 50-50 and that 50-50 split is essentially whether you can get space from him or not. Because
Well,
if he
and
gets
yeah,
on you, you're
yeah,
like fucked. He just like
yeah,
would. He's got a big weapon stick and he whaps
right.
with it. You know what I
You,
mean?
Can we say that
although
Temperance is your guys' referee who calls hits?
Oh
although
hell yeah!
you'd have probably gotten
The
at
Whipper.
least a couple of singe marks from his new laser eye as he tested out
Mm-mm.
there, but
Oh
uh,
yeah, I mean, like you notice that he gets noticeably tougher after the
yeah,
spider incident. Like
yeah,
you probably go for him and like you hit him in a spot where you're used to like that doing something, and he
yeah,
just shrugs it off.
right. And you've probably noticed there's some things he doesn't seem to have noticed for himself. Like there are times it looks like he should have taken more damage than
Yeah,
he did, and just for whatever reason, he's just not there and doesn't even realize he wasn't there for the blow,
huh?
or what. do- It's like he doesn't even realize how much of like there are times where he's either able to negate like what the damage and just isn't there and doesn't seem to register that he should have gotten hit
Right.
and taken damage. And
Oh
there are
yeah.
other times where the damage is mitigated because he's somehow farther off target from where he was standing, you know, and where he is standing. Like there's just something about like he doesn't seem to understand that he's doing it necessarily. But there are times where you're like, that should have hit, and that should have done
Oh yeah.
more damage than, and that should have done more damage than it did. But he doesn't
And
seem to know he's doing it.
definitely Temperance. I mean, like you would notice this Fable 42, but like Temperance, if you're watching Claire train in any other scenario, you would notice Claire does not hold back when training. Like
Right,
he's reasonably dangerous to train with, but
right,
like he'll spar literally any like he's probably if Fable 42 is not, he is probably at like the top of the like bar score chart. You know what I mean? Like the
Yeah,
like who's the gym's toughest motherfucker to fight? Like it might just be Kled, you
yeah,
know?
but I
it honestly probably is because
Yeah.
like he just I don't have the
Yeah,
because
you
I'm
probably
more
don't spend as much time because
well I
Kled
don't
puts in hours.
well it's not even so much that it's that like you're single class soldier and I'm
Oh yeah.
multi-classed and I actually
No,
took
valid.
I'm actually 2 levels of precog and 1 level of soldier, but it's a
Right.
soldier who doesn't realize he's a precog yet.
Mm,
Um,
mm.
uh, well, he doesn't realize just how much like tumbling through time altered his abilities. Like he'll eventually
Right.
level up again as a soldier, but right now they're stuff developing, and he's doesn't have quite as
Yeah.
much stamina as he would.
Right. And what does what does Temperance make of Kled just being this like beast animal man?
you don't really get a lot about him. Like when you guys are sparring, he just has his hand with the hollow pad up,
Uh-huh.
doing work, and occasionally he doesn't even look over. At times you're wondering, is he even judging the bout? And
Yeah.
he'll, hit a button on his micro lab, and it's hooked up to like a whistle on in the training room,
Yeah.
and then you'll just see him raise either of his hands to indicate who got the point.
Right.
Like
No.
he always seems to be, whenever you've observed him, have this like detached aloofness to him. Not in a "oh, I'm so much better than you," but more this "I'm in my element. I'm doing my thing. You are doing your thing. Let us be on our way."
Vibes. I do love that.
He is never without that hollow pad. He is always working, and if you've ever tried to look at the hollow pad, it is probably
Ones and zeros.
not even ones and zeros. This is like some next level physical science and life science stuff. Like he's solving quantum mechanical theories and such, and
Yeah.
theoretical
Hey.
xenobiology.
Oh yeah. And Kled for his part, he has no interest on what's that. He basically goes, that's his thing and that's his specialty. My specialty is kicking ass as hard as I can. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and he never seems like he's like waving you off or anything. There's just this
Yeah.
noticeable. He's able to shift his focus between the two of you very well while also working.
It is what we refer to as flow state.
What would you like? And I don't imagine would he make anything of the fact that there are times where Fable 42 just is not there for a blow that he should have been.
That does draw his interest some, and you see him like pause,
Like it's
flip
not
the
like
hollow, flip
yeah,
the
it's
hollow
not
pet
like-
over.
it's not like he disappears. It's like there's some weird instinctive thing that he moves and he gets a little bit it's like the outline of him gets a little shifty and blurry maybe, and he somehow moves quicker than can be identified as an actual speed.
It looks
Yeah.
like a '90s bullet dodge moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like a Matrix.
It looks like you're
kind of
breaking
thing.
causality.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's very much a wait a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, he probably watches
No
and he's
way.
like, whatever's clever.
Yeah.
Classic. Yeah. I'm not letting you off the hook for that one, Rowan. I'm mentioning that later.
I like that phrase. Shut
It's
up.
good. It's good. No, I use it too. But we have specific sci-fi connotations for that in our group.
Just
but
don't
no.
start bringing beer to surgery.
Yeah, right. Oh man, I wish I could. No. Yeah. Long story short, had a major Mexican wrestler style dude, like luchador style dude, who didn't understand the concepts of most basic things except incredibly violent murder. So whenever someone was in surgery and about to die, he basically went, "Oh shit, I need to bring something that'll help. What usually helps me? Beer."
12
and then
pack.
brought 12 pack and fucking brought a 12 pack, and then they were like, no, and he was like, I don't understand. They're like, no, we don't need that, and he was like, oh, I get it, and then he came back with a fucking 32 pack or
Nice.
a 30 pack. Yeah.
God,
But no,
I miss
anyway,
El Raymundo.
El Raymundo was great. But no, anyway, not the
Who
game
would
we're
win
playing
between
right now.
El Raymundo and Beef?
Ooh.
We'll talk
No.
about that later, boys and girls.
Yeah, that
Oh yeah,
that's
a
a
tough
rap.
one.
That's an epic rap battle.
That's some shit that I would like to actually. I'd pay a pay-per-view for that shit. But anyway.
Fantastic. And that was my fault. I apologize, audience, but it's something we needed to know. All
No,
right.
it's good.
So as the newly appointed team leader, you would definitely want to talk to the best fighter that you have. The one that was bred for Swarm fighting, right?
Yeah.
We've learned that now in canon.
I mean, he.
I think it was
wouldn't,
mentioned.
Yeah. I mean, no, it was mentioned out of game, but
Okay.
also it's not something he's going to hide. He probably
All
would
right.
have put that on his resume.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Ready? Flashback.
Oh shit!
Ooh.
To my guy?
Are you not ready?
Oh no, I'm
Okay.
totally ready. Yeah.
And I assume that. So yeah, flashback.
Yeah, so probably what we get is we get a flashback of Claire, right? And it's a much younger Claire. He's probably instead of where he is now, which is I think he's in his 40s. Yeah, he's 40. We catch him as a young Shobad at the age of probably 10. Shobods are large creatures, so he's about the size of a normal human adult. But he's easily dwarfed by the others. And basically we get one really big Shobod covered in all these paints, right, that are made of certain things. And we see in these kind of pods, there are these tiny little moving objects kind of skittering around on the inside of what appears to be a habitat. And the big one says Claire of no clan, you after this will become Claire Nasaravi. But to become a Nasaravi, our bloodline is altered. We kill Ravi. There is no turning back once you take this path. This is a solemn duty, and once you take this path, you cannot rebuke. And like, Claire kind of like nods. This just tiny fucking showbot, right? He like nods and like, excellent. And like probably the show, and all this is in showbot, right? Like probably on like this desert, right? And there's probably like some ceremony that goes on and that we're like cutting through pieces of, where it's got like this very um like serious tone to it. And then out of this habitat is brought this tiny little spider, and it has like the patterns of the swarm on it. Like it's clear it's a spider that is maybe a part of the swarm, but is for sure of the genetics of the swarm, right? And like Claire's like held down on a slab, and the spider crawls onto his face and up his nose. And then like as that's going on, like we start to see Claire like convulse, and then they throw Claire off the bed and tell him to run. And he's like, no idea how to do this. His legs are not about him. And like one of these showbots comes up and just like hits him like right in the back with like this big fucking club. And like Claire does like a tumble, looks up, and sees the entire group have taken on these like bestial features. And like immediately Claire realizes this and is like, fuck, and like just bolts. And we see Claire kind of like probably like running away from this group of people, as they're all chasing him and throwing like dulled spears and stuff at him so they won't actually kill him. And then finally what ends up happening is Claire dives into a cave, right? And we just see small Claire sitting there like looking at like his skin as it's like bubbling and shifting and like changing, getting thicker. And like we see as Claire's like head starts to grow like these two like horns that are kind of piercing out, and he like looks distraught and confused. And then we cut to the outside of the cave where all these weird dark shadowed animalistic figures with these glowing yellow eyes come out, or like are surrounded. We can't ever make out like a proper silhouette. And then finally the last shot we get is Claire. Like you see his eyes open up, and as he comes out of the shadows, you just see the vaguest shape of like an animal beast. And then we just cut back.
And that was all as he was like, so, hello, Claire.
Who?
Yeah, Charity.
Yeah.
It, like comes in, and probably you two are just finishing up sparring.
Uh-huh.
And was like, "Oh, Claire, just the 4-foot or the 4-armed, 8-foot tall brick shit house I was looking for."
I am 15 foot tall.
Y'all really need to whatever. So, I'm gonna be honest for you. Ain't never fought the swarm on foot before, and we ain't got our mechs with us. You ever fought these things in caves before? So I'm imagining they're pretty mean in caves.
He probably pauses for a second and says, I have fought them on foot. Never in caves. This is somewhat unprecedented, but not unexpected.
How well these things burrow, because what I'm picturing in my head is that these bugs are going to be crawling through the walls, through the ceiling, through the floor. We're going to get surrounded.
That is a possibility. The one thing when dealing with the Ravi is to understand that you will never know exactly how they will attack. If we are fighting in small spaces, it might be prudent for all to have weapons that they may defend themselves from when brought face to face with the Ravi, and nerves be steeled. And then he probably thinks for a second and goes, and if they are able to climb upon vaulted ceilings, my skill set does not lie in range, but we might want one who is specifically equipped for such.
there's like a brief moment where his horn,
Yeah.
as Claire calls it, just, like send like a few sparks go between it, and there's like a brief flash of bright, bright electric blue through his usually very colorful, kind of maroonish violet eyes. Before he gives him this like little smile and a thumbs up, it's like, I got that.
He kind of nods and says, "Excellent. There is only one other thing that I can say. When fighting the Ravi, their will be immutable, their stamina impossible, and their goals innumerable. When fighting them, it is wise to become as them. The greatest enemy is the greatest teacher. Face no fear when when on the battlefield. Either you or them shall die. And if they are to kill you, then they truly are the apex predator."
He frowns at that, and like from behind you hear Temperance say something like, "Know yourself, but not know your enemy, and you will win as many battles as you lose. Know your enemy, but know yourself, and you will only know to lose. Know yourself and know your enemy, and you need not fear the result of 1,000 conflicts."
Oh, he definitely nods at that and says, "There is great wisdom in this."
Chapter 17, The Art of War.
And he probably looks up and says, "Ah, you did not think of that yourself. Understood." And then looks back at Temperance.
And Charity goes, "Have you... I'll buy you that book sometime. I think you might like it. You might get bored. I don't know. Do you read?"
It's probably Claire says, "There is no time to read. One sharpens their wit on the battlefield."
He just looks over at Temperance, who looks back at him, shrugs, and says, like, pretty much like, there is wisdom to be learned from others in Shobod.
He probably looks, and is this the first time you've talked to him in Shobod?
Yeah, and he's just talking in general, not even looking at you as he says it.
Yeah. And he says, "This will be something I consider. Do you have any other questions?"
Is there anything in particular you think we need? Equipment-wise? I can see what I can get from our, big lizardy friends.
That is a point. Regardless of the fact that we didn't actually get the mechs raised, did everyone raise equipment?
I haven't, but also it's not something that I'm like super concerned about right now. I was mainly gonna just buy new ammo and save up stuff.
I did.
understand.
I changed my Solarian crystal.
Mm.
Or the one on my weapon, because I think you can only have one of those.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Probably gonna get a couple more Horicalcum arrows, just to be on the safe side.
Alright, spend the money. You had time.
Oh, and I got
And-
the Soulfire on it, yeah.
And to answer you, Claire would probably say, "It would be wise for close quarters weapons. If not melee weapons, then weapons with spreading and scattering properties. Ones that may be able to take out multiple targets at once. Explosives might be good, however we will be underground, often difficult to move with."
Stick near Temperance if you can. He's got all sorts of things up that weird sleeve he's got there.
His sleeve seems completely normal to me. And he kind of like
He-
looks over at Temperance.
He waves his hand to get rid of the hollow pad, and then flexes his arm in such a way that, in full narco fashion,
Yeah,
each finger turns into a syringe.
he kind of nods and says, "So long as they will not dull my wits in battle, then I would be more than excited. Then that would be more than acceptable. All advantages must be taken against the Ravi." As he kind of like looks at his necrographed arms almost a little like just the barest hint of regret before he just re-steals himself.
I've already attuned this microlab to your biology. It should be fine.
Kind of looks and concerning. I will ask about that later.
I've attuned it to all of our biologies. It's fine.
And like he's probably like, I don't like that. I don't like that he just has all of our biologies. I don't remember signing up for that. But he'll probably after a moment of thought say, pragmatic.
And Temperance gets up and walks over, and like Charity's like, "Yeah, well, all if we all got that together, I think that we can do this. We're just going up again." And like as he's trying to give this little speech, Temperance walks by and gives him a shot in the arm, and he's like, "Not in front of everyone." He's like, "You missed that one by 2 hours. You'll be fine."
Yeah, that doesn't inspire confidence in Clay. I think the constant inoculation and other things like that kind of make Clay a little bit nervous about your stability physically. But he's not gonna say anything, obviously.
Yeah, but then he just kind of fist in hand goes, "There ain't nothing a bunch of bugs can do to us. We've already seen that. So who's ready to mulch some bugs?"
Let's get Chester check the chart.
But say, does anybody speak up?
He's like,
Because Clay will just.
I got
silently
this.
nod.
I
There
got
you
this
go.
swarm right here.
Buy a melee weapon and a couple of Colca mail arrows. The only melee weapon I've got right now is a survival knife. Let's see if there's anything else that's in my price range that works as an operative weapon.
Yeah, both my characters have tactical dueling
Or
swords.
something.
Make a culture check.
Who?
The Jester, otherwise known as Fable.
Ah,
My apologies. Fable, make a culture check.
alright. How's this
You-
way to do it?
Do remember that you're on a military ship that has an armory.
Alright. Well then, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go to the armory and get some stuff.
Yeah, my question: if we're on a ship with an armory, would I be able to scoop some sticky bomb grenades and some explosive hand cannon shells?
So long as you're within the proper level, yes, you can even take your 1 level bump.
Nice. Do I got to pay
Yeah.
for them because we're on the armory, or
Man, where's computer when we need him? You have met the armorer.
yeah? I'd love to talk to the
um,
requisitions officer if there's a problem, because he'll basically say he'll figure out
All
whether
right, go
it
ahead.
is.
Make your rolls.
Oh.
Because he's looking at you like you're kind of crazy for even asking.
If I have to
But-
pay or not, he's like, "Are you fucking serious?"
Fill
Is
out
this
these. Go ahead and make your roll though.
okay? What
You
role
can
should I
be-
make?
Intimidate or bluff if you don't want to use diplomacy. And you're.
I mean, they're all.
I don't see diplomacy necessarily.
Yeah. Can I do my intimidate with strength?
Yeah, give it a shot.
Okay.
Just one time at least.
I
not bad.
probably. Yeah, Claire just like. Probably when he gives me that look, Claire's going to lean over the counter towards him and go, "I want you to understand. I am not the type that understands what people are trying to tell me with their face. The faces I usually see are mutilated, destroyed, and often crushed under my boot. You'll have to elucidate what you're trying to imply here."
He says, "Sir, I don't care about any of that. You have to fill out these forms in triplicate on your pad here, and then we'll find out one way or the other.
Uh, I'm
It
probably
is.
going because
Oh,
I'm gonna level with you. Clay was not taught how to read very well. He was
mm,
taught how to read the very basic things he would need to know, right?
oh.
That's why you have the forearm
So
to
make
do
a
all your
sense motive.
paperwork.
Okay, I'll make a sense motive. Because, yeah, Clay does not. Yeah, here we go. Damn. All right, Clay.
All right. So this is the least aggressive human you've ever met. You believe that he was not trying to sound like he was going to whoop some ass.
Yeah. No, I didn't think he was going to whoop some ass. I just thought he was
Well,
like.
fronting.
Because,
He was not fronting.
yeah, because, yeah, I didn't know what you even meant by the whole, like, uh, you know. So, yeah, he just
Yeah,
wants me to fill out these forms.
he's not afraid, but you know, he's got to have it done a certain way, otherwise he gets in trouble.
I'm going to look at him and say, is there any way that you could fill these forms out for me? I understand. We each have our talents.
Uh,
He's trying very hard to not say, I don't read so good.
he understands. He's like, "All right, sir, I'm going to ask you a series of questions, and then you'll have to make your mark at the bottom."
Kind of
He asks
nods.
you the series of questions. Now make your mark at the bottom.
Yeah, I make my mark at the bottom.
He's still a little confused, just as you're a little confused. And when he types everything in, it goes through, and he goes and picks up the stuff that you asked for. So
Excellent.
Horcrux arrows might have been harder than finding at this armory, just so you know. So I'm sure you picked those up just before you got here.
Yeah.
Eh,
You already knew I had an intention of buying those anyway.
yes,
Uh,
I had to
I
look up what having a Horcrux arrow does. So
so how many shells and grenades am I able to get?
what are you trying for?
Uh, I mean, as many of both as I could get, really. Grenades are
Uh,
like no
are
bulk.
you going to? I was going to say, are you going to make me Brian this? Do we have to do more math?
I mean, I'm not.
Encumbrance. No.
Oh yeah, no. I grenades are like are point one
All right.
bulk. Yeah. So,
So let's see. You are 15 feet tall.
yes, sir.
You weigh 536 pounds or something like that.
Some shit like that. I don't
I was going to say I can
remember
look.
where
Oh
it
God,
is, but yeah, I wrote it down somewhere. Yeah,
I
I'm
forget
I'm
that you're that tall.
pretty fucking big. Large size creatures are no
Beast
joke in this game.
blood. Beast blood.
Uh,
Dark vision. 40. Large. Lawful neutral. Blah blah blah. Has 6 clones of himself. Crazy. Um, he doesn't say, but we're gonna assume it's somewhere in that. So, how many do you think is enough for grenades?
I mean, honestly, 10. I'm not
Deal.
I'm not pressed about having a billion of them. I just that's my like combat opener, and if I have 10, I can replenish pretty easy. The hand
Let's
cannon
make it.
shells. Say
Let's
what?
make it. Let's make it 12. You have 4 arms.
Okay, right on. Those things all get loaded into my hand cannon, by the way. Like, so those aren't I've got that infusion on the thing. The
Right,
hand
and
cannon
then
shells, those are the things that I'm like wanting like just obscene amounts of, like as many as I can get, because those are things that like I can never have enough of. Like my shot, like 60 would probably be good, like something like
all
that.
right. So I realize that you are the showbot of pain is there so that I may feel it and grow as a warrior.
Oh yeah,
But you are with a bunch of soft, squishy people. This is also the place to get serums of healing.
yeah.
Cough.
So can I get both hand cannon shells and serums of healing?
Yeah, you can definitely get serums of healing. Those are way easier to get the paperwork for.
Oh yeah.
Or, yeah,
Uh,
get approved for.
I'll pick up like, I don't know. We're about to be going into a dungeon underground. Let's be safe and say 10. Is that appropriate? 5, 10?
10 sounds good.
Okay, right on.
And
And
mail.
for anyone else that is not a showbot that has, like, intelligence as their, like, number one skill, might think about things like that, too. Cough.
Oh, I have someone who can just use UPBs to make serums of healing. They just don't count as magic anymore.
Okay. Well, you have me there. But having, real ones that are kind of free right now,
True.
you're going underground with a bunch of bugs that can crawl on ceilings and hide in the darkness and create darkness and have spells and eat people that are super handsome and have horns growing out of their head.
No, Charity would probably actually go and talk to them. I mean, he is supposed to be like
Well,
team lead.
And Temperance is a doctor. Temperance would have been on top of that.
Yeah.
I mean, in all actuality. So
I
I'm
mean,
sure Temperance
he bought a
has.
lot of potions of healing, I'm just gonna say.
Alright. Well, and you could get, the med kit that's appropriately tiered from there and all of that.
Oh, yeah, he's got that. He's got a chemilizer, even though he technically doesn't need it, because his
Just in
microlab
case.
counts as a chemilizer. You never know when someone else might need it.
Yeah. Oh no, Temperance is down. Somebody use this.
He's got anti-venoms, he's got antitoxins. He can also make
Nice.
those. He can make like one a day for free or something at this level. But yeah, Charity would go to the quartermaster and try to explain the situation, being like, "So, my name's Charity, and I'm the one running this little gaggle of swarm crushers."
Stop making me fall in love with you. Alright, continue. I'm sorry.
We're gonna be going down into those caves there on Vesk Prime, and, well, as far as I know, things are gonna get hairy real quick. Before we put our feet to the grill, I'd like to know that we're going in with the best equipment we can get. Anything that you got, either you're willing to part with, or that I can, I don't know, sign some documents or some such saying that we've requisitioned supplies from the Vesk.
Yes, your showbot friend was here earlier. So, I've filled out all the paperwork I just need for you to sign. Or make your
Shoot.
mark, whichever it is.
Shoot, ain't no stitch at all. I could do that.
Yeah. When
He'll
you take
make
the
his-
pen, it explodes, dealing 10d6. No. Wrong game. Wrong game. Of swarm damage, even. No.
Not swarm damage. Oh no, not
Sorry.
swarm damage.
So, how many are you going to take as Temperance? It only took 3 sessions. I finally got it.
How many were there? And these are the
How many?
potions, right?
Well, they're the serums of heal. Well,
Yeah,
right?
serums.
Serums, yeah.
Oh, before we go, I thought of this while I was in the bathroom. Also, I'm back. I am going to buy
Okay.
armor. I need to figure out what armor I want to buy, but I'm going to upgrade my armor. And I suggest everyone else do the same if they can.
Yep, I am as upgraded as I can be without having to sacrifice my armor slots.
What's the buyback rate on the armors that we currently have and equipment we currently have?
You're doing a trade-in this time,
Yeah.
so full price.
Okay, right on. Thank you.
Right.
Ooh, okay, that might work.
So
Fuck yeah.
yeah, you get your money back because the military is assuming that it's in top quality. Whether it is or not, I don't care. The military is not paying attention that hard to this. You're in the middle of nowhere, on your way to West Prime.
So,
And so far, you've won every time you fought the swarm. That's pretty good odds.
Yeah. But, yeah.
So eventually, and there you are. Welcome to the Veskarium. We have tea and crumpets.
so about a 0 frostbite, 0 a frostbite class 0 knife for my new melee weapon. And
What's our current level? Is it 3?
Yeah.
Everyone should be 3 except for Temperance.
Okay.
No, Temperance is just 3. Like, he
Oh,
just hit 3.
Oh yeah, from the 1800. That makes sense. So Temperance is still a little bit behind.
Yeah, he'll always be a little bit behind, but he'll actually probably stay fairly competitive with us. Oh
Yes,
boy,
you're
I get
probably
to
gonna
use...
not get turn order to pop up.
Boy, I can't wait to use Startled Scream.
God, that's fun.
Means we can't be surprised.
Hell yeah.
And if we weren't surprised already, everyone gets a +1 to initiative.
Nice.
Hmm.
half the weapons item levels is 2. Wait.
Ooh, you know what I can get?
Hmm.
I can get Formian armor. Like Formian hide.
So it is definitely not one of those things you want to get caught in, well, at least in non-war times in.
Yeah, well, here's
On
the thing.
Castrovel, anyway.
I mean, here's the thing. Formians are currently the enemy. You know,
I
'cause-
thought Formians were like Sheerans, where they weren't
Yeah.
bound to the hive.
Yeah, Formians aren't part of the swarm.
No, Formians are not part of the swarm. Just
not
for
anymore.
everybody.
Okay.
Yeah, they're like
Not
Sheerans.
not since like the middle of the gap or whatever.
Right.
Formians were
Let's-
their own thing well before the Sheeran mutated into existence. And some of our best friends are Sheeran,
Yeah.
or at least close to it.
I'll be right back, but I have my headphones, so I am listening. So
Okay.
enjoy Chair Heart Gaming.
Good.
Share heart.
Oh, I can open my camera up again.
Music.
Let's see.
This is not bad.
Oh, beautiful are mirror's eyes.
Thank you.
You're
Let's see.
welcome.
40,
Now,
40, and 1.
I think I'm gonna go with Formian plate.
I mean, oof.
Make sure there's no better armor. Oh shit! I should probably.
So Formian plate itself is not like Formian plate itself is not made out of Formians. Formian skin armor is, or Formian
Yeah.
hide armor is, but Formian plate is not made out of Formians, I don't think.
Well, and Formian plate sounds like it could have at least been made up of shed parts.
Yeah, yeah.
Because, oh, it's plates. Yeah, we took these off of, this guy.
Yeah. The exoskeleton. Never mind. The exoskeletons of deceased Formians can be crafted into armor that retains some of these creatures' defenses. Taskmaster and My March Formian plate grant resistance. Okay. So yes, it is made out of dead Formians, and
Alright,
we can. Yeah. Huh?
I mean, we can backtrack it because it hasn't happened yet. So you can find this probably on the forge somewhere.
I mean, hell, I
But-
could probably have had it from my family, and I just haven't used it yet. Like I didn't think I was worthy or something.
Like you sent for it.
Huh? Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
I'm gonna
we
go
could
for
totally-
that.
Yeah, that
Alright.
sounds fucking
So yeah,
perfect.
before you left, a package came in the mail. It was from Mumsy and Dadsy.
Yeah, and then I paid the absurd cost of postage.
Mm.
Why do I imagine
Right.
that your mom looks exactly like your dad, but has the like stereotypical curlers in her hair and big red lipstick?
Right.
Mumsy loves you very much.
Oh,
Why don't you
Rocky.
call more?
Ravi Kala, Mommy loves you.
Mommy would also enjoy if you would call more. Your
Right.
sister has graduated high school.
Hmm.
It was a
And
nice
your cousin
ceremony.
is in detention again. We are
Where
proud
did
of you.
where did that boy go wrong?
Jesus
He has
Christ.
not ravied or collard in months.
We took him to a doctor. God.
Yeah, so I guess I'll get basic Lashunta Temp Wave for my new armor.
Ooh.
That's a light armor.
God,
Oh,
have you
boy.
made it back yet? Say something if it's true.
Yes.
Okay. Did you hear all of this while you were driving back and forth?
Yes.
Alright, so did you already upgrade your armor and weapon?
Yes.
You're amazing. Good job. Alright. But have you Ravi Kilad yet today?
Are your kids Ravi Kaline?
They
don't
should
know.
be. Join the Corps. Or the Vescarium. They're on our side.
I'm doing my part.
Ha 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 ha!
God.
I feel like
on,
the
you
promo
idiot.
part for that promo part for Fable 42 would basically just be like you'd see his face for all of a minute before you saw his hand just come at the camera like get out of my face. like or basically it'd be like nothing to see here, civilian, move along.
Hey,
Would you
that
like to
reminds
know
me.
more? No.
Fable, make a culture check.
Okay.
You happen to look at the star date. It's your birthday.
I tell absolutely no one this.
Happy birthday.
I don't
Happy
tell
birthday.
anyone.
It's not in the computer. That was one of the things that was like, it's classified.
Yep.
Would you like to know more? No, they're not allowed.
I I I brewed a little extra because it's my birthday many years before I'm actually technically born.
Yeah.
Like, possibly centuries before I was born. So I'm like, don't know how I should feel about that. Happy future birthday, I guess, to me.
Right.
I think the only way he really marks this in any way, shape, or form is like maybe he has like an extra beer or an extra fucking dessert or something. Like that's about it. He just kind of other than that he mostly just throws himself into the work, like cleaning his gear and preparing to go on the mission. Like it's
I would. Oh God, I love that. I would probably actually right before this I would come up to the S. I'd probably go up to Rim, be like, cousin, I have a delicate question.
I feel not so fresh down there.
See, and I went to.
More about
There's a
things.
woman that I like aboard.
I thought you were gonna stick more bugs in your nose.
Probably says, no, that is a normal and healthy part of my progression. No. The
No, spiders in
looks
my
at you.
nose are fine. It's like Kellogg's.
Yeah, he looks
Part
at
of the
you.
balanced breakfast.
He looks at you and he probably says, I actually have a question that that involves funds. And he looks a little ashamed.
What? Like, are you saying you're poor right now?
If there is any way that I could borrow 30 credits from you, I will pay it back.
Don't worry about paying it back. Here.
Yay! He takes it. Yeah, he takes it and he just says, excellent, this will help us destroy the swarm. Ravi Kala! And like,
That's fucking ridiculous. I'm
Oh,
all ashamed to
shit.
borrow money, but now that you've actually agreed, yeah!
Yeah.
I would gladly pay you Tuesday for a dead bug today.
Yeah. So
Probably
what that
not.
means is I am getting a deterrent scale electroplax, which is another dead Formian part. Which means I'm covering myself in dead Formian, which feels like very, very like fuck the swarm, you know?
Once a swarm,
Without
always a swarm.
Yeah.
Write down that you have a note from your mother
Uh-huh.
uh, when they ask about the Formian plate.
Oh,
I
yeah.
realize the bugs aren't, but you're eventually going to go back to the base, and someone is going to say something. I mean,
Why are you
Oh.
wearing dead bug everywhere?
Yeah, could I just roll
I
a culture
dare
check?
them.
Could I roll a
Hmm.
culture check on like charity or whatever? Be like, why are you wearing corpses of friendly species?
The Formians are still their own thing. Aren't they?
Formians actually
Formians
live.
are part of the core.
Yeah, Formians.
Yeah, they
live-
did fight in.
They live on Castroville. They used to fight against the elves a lot there, but they've
Hmm.
had peace for quite a while.
Okay, well
About
then why
150
does
years.
hold on. Then why does literally every alien archive have Formians as an enemy race? Like and more Formian enemy races.
Because there are Formians in near space in the vast that are not a part of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that Formians were still a large part. Like not all
Well, it's like-
Formians, but there was still a lot of Formians in the
Okay.
swarm.
Well, it's kind of like the same thing. It's kind of like, in some extents, like they list Patra. Patra are friendly species, but they also
Right.
list like a Patra scout as an example thing. So I think this is more of those. Yeah, you can play as a Formian. And they even have the character stats there, but they also have the stats for in case you have Formians that are not civilized Formians that are just enemies.
Yeah.
They
Mm.
they
You know,
kinda like-
it's stat blocking it differently essentially.
yeah.
It's kind of like after learning about goblins for a week, I have discovered that space goblins are way cooler than, Pathfinder regular goblins.
And Pathfinder
Yes.
goblins are really cool, especially Pathfinder 2 ones. They can be made out of rubber and bounce.
No, I actually
Oh.
I actually was going for all of like 2 sessions, a part of like Cosmos, and I played a goblin, and I was like, I looking through all the
Rubber
options
goblin.
for goblins, just ridiculous. There's so many feats that like you were choosing more feats than skill points, and they're fucking all over the place with goblins, man. They got all kinds of goddamn abilities.
I love
Um,
them.
Yeah.
Pathfinder.
I have to bring it up now. Mira, I think I figured out how to make someone who doesn't want to become one a god, and I was told I couldn't make them a god. So, I'll talk more about that later when we're not on air.
Okay. All right then.
All right, so where were we? Captain Kerman shows up, and he's like, I need you to gather your troops and meet me in the cargo bay.
Sorry, I still hear Captain Kermit, so I just see a puppet walking on screen going, "Hi-ho!" Or
If he was a Vesk, I would completely agree with that.
Or that scene from Muppet Treasure Island.
Mm.
Who hired these people?
Every time these guys make a movie, they set our houses on fire. I mean, oh wait, wrong movie. Sorry.
Your finger hired them? No. The man that lived in my finger did.
God.
He said he got the information from John Silver. Anyway,
And this is why I love these people, folks.
Yeah.
All right, so we are
waka,
playing.
waka. Yeah.
So, does everyone show up fully geared out to
Oh.
the cargo bay?
Absolutely. You got
Charity shows
ceremonial
up.
paint and shit up on this on this war fist.
Right?
Charity shows up in his gear, headset, and everything. And
Right.
Temperance looks like he's in an armored lab coat.
What is currently on your device as far as killing music, Charity?
Oh, it's probably something equivalent to like. No, fuck it. It's more C-pop from Ezzy.
Beautiful.
He's like his #1 fan. He has all his albums.
I
Right.
fucking love that.
You're really into the dark stuff?
No, this is a timeline when Ezzy didn't have his sad boy
Ah.
moments or leave the C-pop star and become an alt rock musician. No, he didn't experiment with new metal in this timeline.
Okay. As a soldier, you know exactly what is there. Claire.
Okay.
It's a drop pod.
Oh yeah, I mean, he just settles himself into the big drop pod.
Come, cousin, sit here.
Oh yeah, no, he'll probably just be like, all right, once we land on the ground, everything will be different. We are all brothers. We are all family. You are Pache. I am Pache. No one gets left behind, and everyone who dies a warrior's death. And then he like crosses his arms at all of you guys. Like
Ain't
like
no-
in an X,
yeah.
like 2 X's.
Ain't gonna be no dying on our hands. Just gonna be a whole lot of killing. I want to
He just
see
look-
smiles on everyone's faces, and I want to see every boot that came on this boat coming back when we leave.
Okay, I'll try my best.
All right. Everybody loaded?
I
Good.
think,
Oh.
I think Fable is like got his he's got his earbuds in. He's in the L's on his playlist. He's currently
Mhm.
listening to Larry and the Laugh Track Losers.
Excellent. Yeah, Kleb,
Okay.
by the way, I will make mention. Kleb probably looks at this group of people. He's seen them fight in a mech. He hasn't seen them fight on ground. And he probably looks over to Rem and goes, cousin, you may be working extra on this quest.
I concur. Yeah.
For Temperance's part, he basically pulls out a medigun, like the medic's needler from Team Fortress 2, and slots in a glass full of needles.
Beautiful.
And maybe even just goes, healing leaves a little time for hurting. Don't mean I won't do it. The healing leaves little time for the hurting.
Yes.
Move, gear up.
The rest of you guys would notice that in addition to the numerous ridiculous amount of pouches that Fable 42 has all over his armor and stuff, he said now he's got a few new arrow, like about, what is it, 10
10.
new arrows? 10, no, I think he's got like 8 to 10 new arrows in his quiver that you haven't seen before, and he's got several grenades strapped to him. And in addition to his survival knife, he is now carrying another dagger on him, a Frostbite 0 class dagger.
By the way, does he have a
Right,
back
I guess.
quiver or hip quiver?
It's a back. Yeah, it's a back quiver.
Back with
Why does no one ever go with hip quivers?
They don't look quite as cool and dramatic when you draw the arrow.
Also, they did in like the current premier source of young adult Bowery, they did in Hunger Games. Katniss had a hip quiver in the movies.
Yeah, because hip quivers are smarter. They're more practical.
Yeah, well, you know what? Maybe you're not letting the rule of cool happen with someone pulling an arrow over the top of their head and drawing it dramatically, closing one eye before saying bullseye after hitting something in the head.
Okay, Marvel. No, then they'd have to go, oh, I didn't expect that to happen. Laugh
Shit.
track.
Jesus Christ. Fantastic.
Captain Kerman pushes the button, and you fall. And you keep falling, and you keep falling. And then you see the ground coming up. And then you keep falling, and then you keep falling, and then you keep falling. And then suddenly you look up and you see the ground above you, and you keep falling, and you keep falling.
Oh, good.
Question:
And you keep falling. And then parachutes. Go ahead.
Do I have the ability to attune before combat, or is that specifically a combat thing?
It's specifically a combat thing. As annoying as that is,
Damn.
I can tell you as it doesn't start till round 1. Otherwise, I'd be like, no, I walk in, I supernova everything, and then I start over.
Wee.
So, yes. But, thank you for reminding me, Electricity Man.
Pepsi Man.
Everyone everyone that can make mysticism checks. That's better.
Oh, okay. Well,
I'm bad at those.
19, but this comes more instinctively because
Wow, that was bad.
Claire has no idea what's going on.
Good.
The Solarian has no idea what's going on.
That's fine. But honestly, the two people that needed to know. While you were falling, you both get this weird, like, gnawing, like, worry in the pit of your stomach. And for you, Rem, it gets steadily worse the closer you get to the ground. And even worse once you pass the crust and are still falling down into this cavern. There is mystical energy afoot here that is something you've never experienced in this lifetime.
Well, then probably anyone with sense motive could probably feel a little bit of tension rise with Fable because for him this is more instinctive than like learned knowledge. So it's just like
Oh,
something about this doesn't feel right.
make a culture check, Fable.
Yeah. Yeah, for him it's something doesn't feel right kind of 15.
Good. That's just barely enough. This kind of feels like the energies that brought you here.
Yeah, he's even more on alert. He's like, I think when we like the moment we actually hit ground and he's able to recover enough, he's like the moment we get out of the pod, he's already got an arrow knocked. Like he just comes out like he just straight prepared the moment we get out of the pod. But on the way down, he's like, something about this feels wrong. It feels wrong, like, and then he just doesn't explain further.
Yeah, if you say that out loud, Ethan, I'm gonna look at him and be like, yeah, I understand. I feel the same way. But we got this.
Yeah, because Rem, you rolled a 30. Holy shit.
Alright, for you, Rem, remind me who your god is again? Farmia? Farmera?
What is it? Phasmera? Isn't it?
Pharasma.
Pharasma.
Good.
Read.
Yeah. That's page 508.
Pharasma, the goddess of death or something?
Yes, she is she is the mistress of the boneyard. All souls are judged by her.
That's what I was thinking.
She's also the creator of all Duskwalkers. And they are forever bound to her to come back.
So, why am I suddenly seeing things I don't care about?
I had to learn a lot about her playing a Duskwalker.
So, Rem, this isn't necessarily dark magic, but it is forbidden magic that you're feeling.
I had a small grin on my face.
I love Scott's characters. The worst shit could be happening, and they're just like, "This is where the fun
I'm
begins."
Yeah.
I can start.
Everything's
Quoting,
going wrong. It's great. This is perfect. We'll be
I
fine.
can start quoting Star Wars more because now Mira knows all the memes.
Mm-hmm.
Have you noticed that the shields are still up?
God.
I have. All right. So, the door's open, and initiative, but this is where I'm having the problem. Jester, come to me.
Okay. Second here.
My tech person's in the same house. Yay!
Here's where I also have a problem. Can I scream? Am I spooked by something and go, woo?
How do I get turn order to come up? I can't find it.
Look the clock.
Clock.
Is that what I did wrong? Oh,
Clock there.
I swear I hit like 60 of those. All right.
So we're still on that old map.
Okay. So,
You'll probably have to enter all of those guys manually. It's probably a good idea to mark 1, 2, 3, 4, etc.
all right. Hang on. How do I do it manually?
Okay. So go to the little setting bar
Meanwhile, as they
Wait.
train the old person.
and add custom. You'll see the add custom item right there. Hit add. And you'll put the name. Click up there.
Okay.
Actually, and you know what you'll do? You'll actually want to put the name up there before you hit add. Probably. You can just probably delete that one by the trash can.
Oh, look, now let me.
And you can just do that. But then put that in there as bug 1, bug 2, bug whatever, and then you'll add, when you roll their initiatives, you'll manually type it in up here.
Okay.
Remember to hit enter. You might click on each of your icons and add a number to them so you know which one is which.
Right.
I
Okay.
always do number, hit points, and resolve points if necessary. In that order. How I organize it.
Okay. That's funny. Sorry, guys. Like I said, I'm not very good at this training thing.
Ah, you're good.
Hmm.
We all had to learn at some point or another.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah.
Just learning the Roll20 tools is all.
Classic. Now, everything that you're learning, just assume that at any update at all, it could change radically.
Yep.
That's mostly been true with with like the character sheets more than anything.
Yeah, that's fair.
They haven't changed like a lot of the basic map tools and stuff have not changed since I've started.
That's true. That's
I've
true.
learned how to use more of them since I've started, but that's just a natural progression,
Right.
you know. But when you use these programs, like the first day, like it's always a learning curve, figuring out what you can and can't do and how to do it.
All right.
What you have time to do. So
That's
Everyone,
why when I
let's-
get bored, I try it. Play around.
I never have that much boredom. Everyone,
We-
place your characters outside right here.
Oh,
We are not
still
on
not
that
on the map.
Oh,
So
hang
you
on.
see that red bookmark? Got to drag that to the other map.
yep.
Okay.
There we go.
There.
All right.
Oh,
Is it there?
Jesus.
Oh, we are so fucked. Where?
And are
Hang on.
we like what side of the building are we on?
Get the.
Okay,
It's a tunnel.
so it'll be
Or
this side of the tunnel.
So we're
Yeah.
up in the corner over here then.
Yeah.
I
where this
need
weird square
you
is.
to make Clay one size category bigger, please.
All right.
Also known as just drag his corner.
Okay, hang on. Let's see if I can do that.
Man, we are surrounded.
Yeah, we are.
We have you surrounded, at least from this side.
Don't worry, Claire will take up the majority of the front.
Yeah, that's why I moved to the back.
Yeah. Excellent.
Is
I
that
might
too big?
need. No, that's exactly how big he's supposed to be.
Okay.
Move whoever this is, because I think I'm behind you.
Who? The one in the middle or top?
The
That's
one
yeah,
in the
that's
middle?
Temperance. I'll move.
Oh, okay, so it didn't put me out there. Come on. I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying.
So let's see here. I can go
There we
right here.
go. All right.
That's where I'll go.
Well, I assume you're going to, like... It was wrong of me to assume that the tank would be in front, but that is how I would imagine it.
That's what I'm doing. Yeah.
Okay. So long as I'm on the same page as you.
Yeah. No, I am in fighting form right in the front.
Now we do character or initiative.
Yeah, now click on your token and then
Ooh,
roll initiative.
Before we roll initiative,
before-
everyone get a +1.
And before we roll initiative, I need to roll my paradoxes. So
Yes, we should have done that at the beginning, and we made it all the way to here. Continue. Roll your paradox.
4 and 2. So not as useful as I'd like, but there's still some use for them.
So you're not high enough level to use them for
Holy
damage, huh?
shit! What the fuck?
No, I can use them to reduce my damage. I can use, if they were higher rolls, I could use them for a lot more, but I can use them to reduce the damage I take. I mean, up to a max of 5 points until I get higher level.
Well, looks like Temperance is going first.
And then I will roll my initiative.
Yeah.
I find it great that people with long names roll poorly for initiative.
Yeah.
Charity's name.
I realize that Temperance is huge, but technically Rem Atat Far of the clan is set is way longer, and so is Kled Savevra.
Yeah.
Kled.
Nostaravi. Yeah.
Nasarabi, yeah.
I do like that Charity gets to go before Clef, though, because I want to do something. I want to do some shenanigans with my... Wait. Fuck, I can't, because I have to use my first turn to attune. Because isn't that pretty much all you can do in that turn?
No, it's literally you tell me if you're going photon or graviton mode, and then you do the rest of your stuff.
Okay,
It's literally
so
like
it's a swift action.
it's a zen moment. Yes, it's a swift action.
Yeah, I thought it was a standard action.
Is it a swift or a free?
Now
it's
you have
free.
to make me look.
Yeah.
It's probably free.
I need
But
to
we'll
look
look.
again, because electrical
H100.
attunement doesn't have it listed because it assumes you know. My
Okay.
bad.
No, you're fine. And I don't honestly remember.
I just know that I get more movement speed. I get 5 feet of movement speed every turn that I'm in energy attunement, and I get 1 damage reduction every time I'm in resistance attunement. Which is pretty good. Not gonna lie, it's pretty good. It makes me want to always be
Start
in
of your
resistance
first
attunement.
turn. It's the start of your first turn, so it doesn't even count towards an
Oh.
action or anything.
True. That's good. It's pretty great.
It's only an action if you utilize part of the Solarian thing to do something, then it costs actions.
Yeah, that's what I plan to do. Is I want to use a ultraviolet pulse or whatever it is, where I pick somebody, and they immediately take -1 to all of their saves, and if I'm attuned, it affects every enemy around them.
Because it's a metaphysical alignment with cosmic forces, and you start your first turn in combat in a mode,
Okay.
whether it be unattuned or whichever mode you're supposed to be in.
Yeah.
Which for you, what do they call it? Is it the same?
It's energy attunement, which is like photon, and resistance attunement, which is gravitic.
Okay.
Essentially.
Yeah.
You do
Yeah,
have,
for the purposes
Yeah.
of
What
anything that
page?
says you have to be in one of them.
right.
What page is your changes on? I know it's in Tech Revolution, right?
Yes, it's in Tech Revolution Let me find that.
Thank God. I
There
found
are
it.
some powers that are specifically for resistance and
Yeah, it changes. I don't have Supernova and the other one.
yeah, there are some that are specific to your type.
Okay. So I'll just need to read those pages later. But for now, I can read them when we need them.
Eh,
All right. I just want to make sure I'm where I need to be for that.
I need galactic.
I know how they work. One of them does an explosion of damage at one creature. One of them, everything within 10 feet of me becomes fatigued.
Okay.
Or if they were already fatigued, they become exhausted. So that's kind of the balance is, oh, why would you ever be in energy mode? Movement speed isn't nearly as cool as damage reduction. Yeah, but when you unattune, you do 3d8 electric damage.
I think Nurks would have something to say about movement rate not being very cool.
Not as cool as just I ignore 3 damage.
Especially this
I
early.
was thinking
Yeah.
that too. Imagine Nurks the Solaran.
I
She would
can't.
have- she would have had to give-
I just
really like
stars.
She would have had to given up a lot of movement rate for that.
Not if she went with the energy.
It's still not as good as the operative's movement rate bonuses.
Probably. It does.
Operative just kills it on movement rate, man. He
I-
fucking
I
kills.
just think it would be fun to watch Nurks, graviton mode, like, slam around some people. Bam, bam, bam. Don't sigh at me.
Don't sigh at me.
I was actually kind of thinking. No, she's not Yoda. They share a skin color. That's it.
Okay.
When she
think
gets a little older, she'll probably
Goblin
have the
Green-
wrinkles.
And yeah, there's a little more red to it now. Something like that. Well, I guess it depends on which goblin you are. So, Galorian likes to turn everything red. Just so you guys know.
Red
Yeah.
is the color of badass.
Well, at very least, love, anger, that covers most things, so.
I personally like green or purple, but that's because I'm weird.
Because purple means peace.
It means
Okay.
reality.
I always think of purple as being a royal color.
Yep, because of
And
finishing purple.
Oh, a monarch. Of course you'd think. Nah, I'm just playing.
Part of the reason I like purple, I guess. I don't know. Purple I like that color.
It's just pretty. So yeah, as out of before combat starts, because it's banter, which is free. I assuming this door to our drop pod pops open and we just see that there's a bunch of swarm already.
Alright, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
So as the doors pop open and your large friend runs out and into the hallway, because he had to squeeze through that door to get in there.
Oh yeah.
Because it's more like a hole. They managed to bore through a wall. Into this tunnel. Now for you, once you're through that tiny door, the tunnel is it's not a tight fit, but it's not uncomfortable. You have enough room to stand. And move about so long as no one gets next to you. Everyone else is like, oh yeah, there's plenty of room in this place. 30-foot high ceilings. There's some bugs on the wall. The ones that you see in front of you. There are a lot of dead Vesk. And also a whole bunch of Gittermander that are holding their own. But not making any progress. They're not dying, but they're not taking enough out to get away at this point.
Good for them.
Oh yeah, for those of you who are there, Charity's tried to steal himself, sees this, his face just goes completely pale, and he just lets out a terrified shriek as he's like, Oh God!
I love that.
Do
Which
not
gives us our
pictures,
plus one.
voices.
It's like,
Run.
the small one has screamed.
Yeah. Two things. One question. Two things. One, you might want to take the turn order and flip it to where it's in order.
So
And
you'll hit to do that. You'll go to your gear shift thing, and it'll give you an option to change your turn order to
descending.
ascending, descending, and that's how you'll do that.
See, because when I'm touching it, all it's telling me is nothing.
Show you real
Oh.
quick here. There you go. It looks like no, it didn't.
Nope. Yep.
I think you're hitting the next. Hit the gear.
Yeah.
All right, Sean, come here, because it's literally not doing anything when I click the gear.
Might already be open behind a window or something.
That's possible. Oh wait,
There's
Aha.
one step beyond the gear.
Maybe
You go up
that's
to numeric sort options, ascending or descending. So you want it descending so that you're going down the initiative order instead of back upwards. So descending.
There we go.
There you go. And this
Sick.
button will move you between each initiative, so you're keeping track. So like you want to move it to whoever's at the top, and then when theirs is done, you'll move it down. You'll move it center.
okay. So that's what I was doing.
There you go.
Second thing, I recommend everyone stay back for the first turn because I got a good opening salvo.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna hopefully help you with that.
There we go.
All right.
Perfect.
So Temperance, go ahead.
Yeah, Temperance is going to spend an action to biohack booster Clay.
Okay.
Clay, you're out here in this hallway and there's this tiny little sharp prick in a gap in your armor.
Mm.
And he's just like, you're good. Get in there. And you now have +1 to your damage reduction. As
Nice.
your body just feels less. You've been injected with some very mild anesthetics.
Nice. Yeah. Hell yeah, that's good.
So that's an action and can't really move. In this system, because I know it's different in different systems, can you just not move and do another action as long as it's not the same action twice?
No, this is what you get: a standard action and a move action, and then of course there's the multitude of free actions, swift actions that you can get away with. And I think honestly the most awesome thing is if you use it as your whole action, you get that extra damage out of a magic missile.
Yeah,
At least it's one of my favorites.
Is this a system where attacking ends your action, or can you attack then move?
you can. That's a specific feat is attacking and move it. Like
Okay.
move, attack, move. It's called like run
Nerf
by or
actually
something.
did have that feat.
Well,
Gotcha. I'll have to pick that up.
So what, shot on the run was one
Well,
she had.
Yeah, there's a different one for every kind of attack.
I think the question is essentially like, do you have to take your move action and then your attack action? And I don't think it really matters whether you take your move or your attack first.
Yeah, no, that doesn't matter.
The only thing
But you
that
can't
might
attack
happen
and
is
move. You have to take specific feats for that.
if you
Okay.
attack and then move, you may open yourself to an attack of opportunity.
Right. So okay. So now I'm confused. Is it that you can take an attack and then you can move, or is that
Yes.
you can only do
Yes.
that? Okay. Okay.
We're saying
good.
that without a feat, you can't like move this far, attack, keep moving.
Yeah. You can't split your movement. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Right,
I was just
exactly.
wondering if it was operating on 3.5 rules, where a spell or attack ends your turn.
Okay, so yeah, that was Temperance' turn. He biohacked, bio-boosted Clef with +1 damage resistance, and you get that for, I think, like a minute?
That's lots of time in battle.
Yeah, I'll have to look exactly at it because it's anesthesiology. 5 stacks. Man, why do biohackers have to have so much bullshit?
Because they're not
Standard
for novice.
action. You'll see use under any start. I just want to know how long lost. Once activated, each time.
I see the arm in the background.
Biohacks. As you increase the level. Basic booster. Okay, number of rounds equal to your key ability score modifier. So in his case, 4. You have it for 4 rounds.
Not bad.
So I have DR1 for 4 rounds.
Yes.
Nice. Okay.
So Fable.
Okay. So there's a thing I'm gonna do real quick here. I think, and it's gonna be one of those things. Maybe he's not. No, we'll wait and do that later. We'll do. For now, he's just gonna fire his bow because I did say that he came out like arrow knocked pretty immediately. And he's definitely going to fire at the one that's right in front of him. Anything that moves too close enough is probably that's going to try to move in on him runs the risk of getting within Kle's clobbering range because he's a big creature. He's probably got reach. So I'm going to take advantage of that. And I think that's just it. I'm just going to fire the bow for now.
All right. Did you hit?
Does a 21 hit?
Which one were you aiming at? This one?
The one right in front of me. This guy right here.
Okay. Yes. Yes, I did.
That's a 5 points of damage then. Like immediately, like he's like maybe he's got like the volume on his playlist a little bit lower, like so he can just like communicate, and he's like time to go to work, and he's like he probably looks over to Clay, and he's like, keep him at a like keep him back, and I'll pepper him with arrows. He's and that's kind of like as he is getting ready to set up for his next attack, but that's all he's doing this round.
Okay. So that makes it Rem. Rem, what are you doing? Are you saying stuff?
I'm thinking. I don't know. Maybe I should just shoot that one in the middle. See what that does.
This one?
Yes.
And you're here?
Wait, is there like small, like 5-pound little objects on the ground anywhere?
Like, there's some biceps and quadriceps, and it looks like there are a few, like, brains that haven't been, like, completely devoured yet. So, yeah, sure.
Okay, then I'm gonna do this spell and pick that up off the ground and throw it at him.
Okay, so make a base. Ranged? No, not ranged. There's a thrown weapon.
Yeah, it's a ranged attack against its KAC.
Okay, well, I mean, yeah. I know what's wrong. There's too many buttons. There's a basic thrown weapon. That's what I was trying to say. So just use that. It's under your melee and ranged. Oh, you have something already for that. Okay. Oof.
Yeah, telekinetic projectile. I knew what he was casting. Cast it. I love that spell.
Somebody that's played more Roll20, hover over his ranged attack and tell me why it looks like that.
He rolled a natural 20.
No, so the ranged attack,
the
he rolled a nat 1.
Oh, the ranged. I was looking at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On my side, it shows a 2 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0.
Yeah,
plus
I don't
0.
know what the fuck. Oh, that is. I think that's actually the macro for spells.
Yeah.
Okay, so Scott, on your character sheet under basic attacks, there's a throne. Go ahead and roll that for me. That's better, but it still misses. Okay. So we fling. Resistance no, setting for no, instantaneous. So yeah, it bounces near them, but doesn't actually do anything. Now it's Charity.
All right. Charity is going to, as combat starts, his horn, as it were, sparks and turns a bright blue as energy starts to course and spark along his body. He is now in energy attunement, which gives him at this level, I think, +5 feet of movement to his movement. Let me 100% check on this ability. You can move it as a standard action. Okay, he's going to use Ultraviolet Pulse on this duder at the top.
Okay.
And because I am in the equivalent of photon mode and I am attuned, it's going to hit these other two here. They both, as long as I stay in this mode, they take a -1 penalty to all saving throws for 1 round or until you leave photon mode. So they will stay there as long as I am in my electric mode. Oh, they'll keep that -1 to all. They do not, according to this.
Okay, just confirming.
Yeah, so maybe what it looks like is, he's starting to spark with electricity, and even through his gear and his armor, there's this bright blue emanating from his chest before, with a gasp like of shock, this orb of lightning shoots out and disappears. And Clea, in front of you, near that one, from the ceiling, a storm cloud develops, and a bolt of lightning strikes that one and then arcs between the others as they squeal in pain and try to hold at their eye, whatever the equivalent to their eyes are.
Very neat.
Okay. Do you have an aura or a
No.
that sort of thing at the moment?
No. I just I don't get those, unfortunately. Mine just benefit myself in that I either get more movement speed or I get damage resistance.
Okie doke. Just checking. Alright. So yes, I've marked them. So there's that, which makes it what?
Yeah, should be.
All right.
I gave them
Clea's
ones
gonna
for
move
you.
up. Thank you. Clea is gonna move up, and he is going to fire onto the ground right here a sticky grenade from his scattergun here. Mark 1 sticky bomb grenade. Let's see here. Just 1 second. So that counts as. There we go. Do I have any modifiers? I don't think I do. Zoop. Motherfuck.
Alright, refresh me as I look for the armory. Grenades.
The DC the DC should be 10 plus the item's level plus
However,
the ability score plus the
yes.
ability score for that was used for the adjustment. So to be the DC would be 10 plus half the grenade's item level,
Which
plus
is 1.
plus
so-
your strength bonus because you use strength for throwing.
Oh no, it's Dex because I fired it out of the hand cannon.
Oh, Dex then. Okay.
Yeah. So it would be. However, I rolled a nat 1.
Right, so I guess I'm going to assume that
It
Oh,
blows up
shit.
in the gun. Maybe.
I know, but I hate to do that to you because if it blows up in the gun,
I'm not
well,
concerned.
hang on.
It's not going to break the gun, hopefully.
Well,
And even if it does, well, I got my beating stick.
That's what you carry a backup weapon for.
okay,
Yeah.
so you're good. You're good. It does blow up in the weapon, and it's going to be jammed with debris, so you're going to either have to clear it out next round or do something else.
You probably hear Claire like approach and half say something in Shobod, probably something to the lines of like, "Ready yourself," and then it blows up at his hand, and you just hear him say like, just insert random expletive in Shobod here.
Ready yourself, bitch!
Oh, wait, and it's a sticky bomb, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So, because of the nature of a sticky bomb,
Yeah.
blowing up in a tube, would it? It would definitely be all up in the gun and all gummed up. But
Uh huh.
should you?
I mean, I can
Uh,
if you want me to. I don't mind.
Hang on, let me do this. No, you're fine.
Okay.
You just see a little bit of fucking goo come out of the front end
Yeah.
of your gun. It's like,
Oh yeah, he's definitely gonna have to try and
Alright.
bless this gun after all this is done. He's
Isn't
gonna
that
do
beating it
some.
on the ground, right?
Huh?
Isn't that just beating it on the ground?
No,
Bless
he'll probably.
this
No,
mess.
his cousin.
Mm.
Yeah. He'll probably
Sure,
inscribe
sticky
some
can do it, too.
fucking runes on there for reliability, also known as literally nothing mechanical.
But if it makes him feel better.
I mean,
All
at the
right,
very least,
so-
I've put myself with threat range. All three of these guys are in my threat range because of my 10-foot
right.
reach.
So I believe, sir, that this one. Oh, sorry. Just ran
Oh,
by you enough to get a attack of opportunity.
So he has entered my threat range, but he has not exited my threat range. However, I will align my shield to him before my turn ends.
Okay.
Let's see here.
Well,
So
technically, I was after your turn, but I had not moved on the thing. So
okay,
yes. You
Gotcha.
figure that's what's going
I'll-
to happen, so you do
I'll
that.
cheese it. I'll cheese it this one time. I will freely admit I'm gonna cheese it, but also it's so I can be really useful to my friend and do a cool thing.
Right.
Okay.
'Cause
Yeah.
he's going to force me to change weapons here.
Yeah, I'm freely admitting it's a little cheesy, but anyway,
All right.
Sorry, I'll
So,
get to use my zero knife.
sick.
all right. I'm in the wrong spot again. Damn it, Chris. Claw. Claw.
Both
Okay,
my
so
KAC
it misses.
my EAC and KAC are both 17. All
Hey,
right.
by the
Yeah,
way,
I knew that.
Chris,
Yes.
you want to know something fun?
Okay.
So because he attempted to attack Jesta there, he has used it to block one of the attacks at Jesta. It doesn't say it has to hit, just that a melee attack has happened.
Okay.
And he's going to take 1d3 electricity damage. He can attempt a reflex save to halve the damage.
Okay. Reflex.
And it'll be 10 plus 4 plus my dex mod, which is... Sorry, dex isn't really important to me. 1. So that's 4 plus 10 plus 1, that's 15. So he halves this damage.
All right.
1, 2, 3. He still takes 1 point of damage.
Ow.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
however you want to think on the screen.
Fuck you.
All right. and
That
then
shield
these
gets better
guys-
later on.
Ow. Claw. Claw. Oh, that one hits. No.
Maybe. Let me check my character sheet. I got a pretty good case.
Oh yeah, you did just get new armor, huh?
Damn, 23 though?
20 versus. Yeah, you hit me by 3.
Oh.
Damn, how's your KC that high? Mine's are 13.
More
Soldier
being
plus
late.
heavy armor.
Hmm.
All right, so the two of them claw at you twice, and only one of them manages to like score a hit between plates.
All right.
Mine's 17, so
Remember, ignore 1 damage. Yeah, mine are 13, but that's because 2 from the armor, because only light armor, and 1 from dex, because neither of them have high dex.
So that's a total of 7 points of damage.
7, so I reduce that to 6 because of
Yes,
the
you have
DR.
from your friend.
So 6 points of damage puts me at 18 SP. Nice.
All right, and that was those 3. This one will attack at the Skittermanders. Ooh. And the Skittermanders will attack back. Come on, buddy. Make you roll. Hey, the Skittermander missed. Okay. And I need to put the Skittermander on there in a minute. And that is the round. Alright, guys, it's 11:23. And it did take us a little bit longer to get here than was previously planned, but I had fun getting us here. And we did figure out how we were going to raise the tiers of our mechs from this point on. Or at least a good basic guideline until someone, if someone does know better than us that's listening tonight, please let us know in the comments where to find that information. And we'd appreciate that. But do you want to do one more round, or do you guys want to start sign-offs?
I'm cool with either.
That's up to you guys.
I shake my fist. Scott, how do you feel?
what's up?
One more round.
Okay. Temperance.
Alright, he's gonna shoot at that one that's, trying to eat Fable.
Okay.
With his needler. And if he crits, he gets to give him an injection.
Come on, crit. Oh, wait, I'm the bad guy. Don't crit me.
Don't crit me. That's gonna miss.
Oh, man.
Maximum damage, though. It could have been cool. Alright.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, that's it.
Fable.
I think Fable is going to switch to his. He's gonna switch to his new Zero knife. Do I have that? Oh, I've got that set up. There we go. All right. Let's see. Come on, 14.
Miss.
Darn. Wait a minute.
Rem. No one's been hurt yet. What are you doing?
Oh,
Scott.
yeah, because that was stamina.
Scott, are you dead?
I don't know. Shoot between his legs and shoot that dude in the middle.
Okay. Give it a shot.
I'm rolling ones all day.
Yeah, he's.
So, Claire,
Uh-huh.
you feel, what exactly is he shooting?
A semi-auto pistol.
You feel a round lodge in your back plate, and it's just enough that you take 7 damage, but it was
Damn.
definitely an attack from
6
the behind.
damage.
6
6 damage.
damage, yep. Damn.
Yes. it
Kleb
is a
probably. Kleb's having a bad first round.
plug. Round 2, yes. Alright, so, Charity, you just saw all that go down.
Yeah. Well, he's going to. So his electrical flare, not a solar flare, looks almost like a bunch of geometric electrical floating plates in the vague shape of a hand crossbow strapped to his forearm,
Nice.
and he's going to aim it at the one that he aimed his first ability at, his ultraviolet pulse. That one in front of him, and he's gonna try and shoot him. He's gonna try a pew pew pew. Why didn't it roll? Ooh!
Ooh.
So that's
Critical
13 damage.
Hell yeah, Jesus.
And an extra 10 damage from the crit, and it's well, it's not in stun mode, so it doesn't do anything special for the crit, but it does 23 damage.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
if you notice,
Oh yeah, like
Sweet.
he
Is that
charges.
bloodied or dead?
it's dead. It's
Nice.
dead, Jim.
Yeah, he sees like all this chaos going. He's like, "Come on, come on, come on, come on!" And just we see like the bolt or the bar of this crossbow pull back and fire out, and right over your shoulder, Claire, a screeching bolt of searing electricity just leaves the smell of ozone before it hits this thing as it rears up. Shoulder cuts that arm off and just goes clean through, leaving a seared, smoking wound before it
Hell yeah.
has the sound of a thunderclap as it hits the ground behind it.
Nice.
He's like, "Hell yeah, get you some!"
Does it count as sonic damage out of curiosity?
It
Also-
counts as just electric damage.
Okay. Just checking. I mean, you are in a cavern.
Yeah, that was just me adding a little
Okay.
flair.
I was just making sure. If it was part of the actual damage, like I'd be like, oh, well, let's see if it does anything.
And he'll move to
Ah.
here, and that'll be his
Oh wait,
turn.
wait. Oh my God! I just remembered something awesome.
What's up?
I have the critical hit deck.
Ooh.
Ooh.
And I had forgotten. So, dun dun dun. Hey everyone, do you like Starfinder stuff? Do you like to consume and have things that are all over your house?
Consume.
Try out the Fumble and the Critical Hit deck. You can have amazing things happen. Let's see. There's electric damage.
Yeah, everything I do is electric damage, and everything that gives me resistance is resistant to electric damage.
Alright.
That's gonna be really bad whenever we face something that's immune to electric damage.
Yep, that'll basically make me useless.
Alright. So, it did its job so well that it broke its limb. The target moves one step down the dexterity poison track and can't use a randomly determined limb until healed. So,
He can use any
Yeah, I don't
limbs
think he's
right
gonna be
now.
using very many of his limbs.
Well, I love the fact that like it hit him so hard that he convulsed so hard he broke a leg as he died.
but hey, that was what we got with the first time of the critical hit.
Nice.
You're welcome,
Very
world. All right,
Yeah, he did the whole, yeah, get you some.
good job, Claire. You just witnessed your friend take the first one down.
Damn, Clez jealous. He wishes he was the one to take the first one down. So he's gonna work even harder. That's gonna be a full attack. One on this guy, one on this guy. Actually, no. He'll just level his beating stick on this guy entirely.
Okay.
So hopefully I don't miss these. But, so I get a -4.
I have faith, Ravi Kada.
So that one doesn't hit. Let's see here.
Neat.
And just double checking. Yeah, it's a +6.
To him from his father, to him from his mother.
Yep. Damn! Alright, fumble me, Dad.
And I have that deck too.
When crit
Ladies-
fishing goes incredibly wrong.
Ladies
When
and gentlemen,
crit fishing.
both decks in the same round.
Man, for the most dangerous swarm killer of all time, he really is fucking up.
Hey, this holds true to any game that I'm in. We all have weeks where we roll the ones. Next
That's
week,
true.
hopefully.
Oh, I'm not mad. This is actually going to be great because this will spur some character development.
Roll a d4.
What if I'm not the best at killing the swarm?
What if the twink is?
Oh no, what happened?
All right. Reroll the
Oh,
attack against the
no.
nearest creature adjacent to your target. So
Oh,
attack
no.
Fable 42, please.
Oh,
That's a
Oh,
miss.
good.
Oh, thank God. I was gonna be like,
I really
imagine if you
expected a
crit
20.
him.
Yeah, and I think Fable's like, just kind of like, they're like, whose side are you on? He kind of ducks out of the way.
All right.
Yeah.
So
oh wait, that would have been at a -4 anyway, so we were definitely safe.
all right, there. So this one going to attack Claire.
Go ahead.
Much.
Well, I will try.
My
him.
shield is still aligned to this guy, by the way.
$24 hits, right?
That hits. Yeah, dang. What if Kled just straight up dies in this combat?
Well, that would not
Guys in his
be
first
good for
combat.
them.
That'd be
7.
1.
At least
Minus-
he doesn't get
Oh,
killed by it.
I didn't add their strength into it. I'm sorry. So it'll be 7 minus 1, so you'll take 6.
Yeah,
At
gotcha.
least he didn't get killed by a tar monster.
All right, and then this one does not care, and will attack Fable. Hey, Fable, does that hit?
Yeah, and I'm gonna use a paradox to reduce whatever damage you roll down some.
Also, he's gonna have to make that dex save.
So 13 minus what? Oh yeah, dex
And he's
save.
also gonna have a -1 to his dex save.
Oh yeah, thank you. That means he only gets this much.
So that's. I will
He does
use
not make
my.
a dex save.
Takes 2 points of electric damage.
Ow.
And I will reduce his damage from. What was it? 8? Is that what you-
13 was the total. It's 8 plus 5 because they're strong.
So, okay, so 8 plus 5, I'll reduce it by 4. That means 8 plus 1, 9 points of damage. Alright. And that puts me at 11 stamina. Okay. Alright.
That
Yeah, this is probably the moment where anybody close enough to actually see his eyes would probably realize that he has just figured out that he's been doing something. He realized that he just realized that he actually reduced the damage, and from his perspective, it's like time slowed down as he was taking the hit, and he was unable to get out of the way because he's just not used to this effect, terribly used to this effect. But he does reduce it down some. And it's just like there's something that lights in his eyes, and maybe the rest of you, it seems like there's a time distortion around him, but his eyes sort of light up with some sort of recognition of something.
okay.
Nice. Hey,
So-
by the way, Chris, one
ahead.
thing. I made an oopsie. We're obviously not gonna retrofit this damage. I also add my weapon level damage, so that should be
Oh.
6 damage.
To
To
the
that.
bad guy.
To the bad guy. Yes.
Okay.
I forgot that I'm supposed to add the 4 from the actual level of the weapon.
Holy shit, when I'm max energy
Alright.
attuned, I have 60 feet of movement.
Damn.
So, mystics, including Fable, make another mysticism check.
Yeah, I bombed that mysticism check.
You're too distracted by how cool that was.
I'm too distracted by the fact that I realized just realized I seem to have powers I didn't have before I tumbled through time.
Hang on. There.
Like maybe there's that moment where you can kind of feel the flow of time a little bit.
So, Rem, something is happening, and then all of a sudden, everyone, even the people that were like, "Oh, I have no clue what's going on," see this strange yellow portal rip itself open, and you see a Lashunta in some crazy, like, twacked out armor step out and look directly at Fable and go, "Soldier, we don't have time for this." And you, Fable, recognize it as your commander. "Get it through this portal right now, sir. Or son."
Yeah. Little bit busy. Got something in front of me at the moment.
What in
He
the goddamn?
pulls
And
out a shiny Gellick cannon, and suddenly there's nothing in front of you.
God damn. Yeah,
ooh,
fucking hell.
Yeah.
yeah, I think there's probably a moment where he's looking between like, commanding officer and the rest of the team, and he's like, I don't, sir, I'm a little. I kind of need to complete. What's going on? Where did you come from? What? How? What the? And he just kind of like there's just like this moment of like absolute confusion. And he's like, how are you even here? That wasn't stable, and you were dying. You were on. Like there's I'm not sure I believe what's going on here.
Sense motive?
Uh,
Oh, wait, I got it. I got it right. Ready?
hmm?
He looks you dead in the eye and he says, "Operation Terracotta." And now you get a flood of memories.
Okay.
And all those memories say that this is definitely the commander. I mean, you can make a roll,
Right.
but Operation Terracotta should trigger your training.
All right. So.
Oh, wait, you're still there. I'll just move this circle. Just giving you crap. I can't make you go, but he's going to try to make you go, which is also
I
going to
mean,
confuse the battles.
if you want to go, I mean that's your
Like-
character's thing.
Well, I think what he's going to do is he's probably going to head that way, but he's going to stop short of going in the. Well, actually, it's not even his turn, so he can't move yet. So.
Jester, you're about to be gone for 2 weeks, and I may play with them while you're gone.
Oh, right. I
Oh.
see. You're giving an excuse.
Remember,
I get
Uh-huh.
what you do.
remember
okay.
we briefly discussed it, but we were sidetracked because of the Miz.
That's right. You're
Yeah.
right. You're right. I completely.
That's why I'm like,
dismissed the
why are you fighting
conversation.
this so hard? I mean, I know you're you,
Yeah.
but still.
Yeah.
Good.
No.
Right.
It kind of looks around, and he kind of looks at the rest of the group, and he's just like, and he just kind of gives like a nod, and he like kind of crackles over comms. He's like, I'm sorry. Hopefully, I'll be back. Something I have to take care of. Prior mission. And there's just kind of like a, he says, I wish I could tell you more, and disappears through the portal. As commanding officer.
The commanding officer guy looks around and he looks at you, Claire, and goes, "Ravi Kala," and disappears.
Yeah.
Wow.
Also, at this point, next week, on the Shardverse 1385, will the remaining party survive without Fable 42 and his precog powers? Find out next week. Ta-da! Ta-da! And because Computer is not here, Punam, would you love to go first?
Hi ho, friendolas. My name is Rowan, otherwise known as I Here. Got me here today playing Charity and Temperance at Essel, who, Charity actually did some good shit this time.
Mm-hmm.
He zapped some bugs and made them go, owie, my eyes! And then one went, owie, my everything! Which felt good. Get you some, son. You can also catch me here on Wednesdays, where I am over the horizon, where I play Sinel, who's just like, God damn it, get me out of this dungeon, and might actually take the druid up on the option. It's like, why don't we just dig to the end of the dungeon? Fuck this place. I want out. He's like, you know what? That actually sounds like a good idea. But he did get to bully an amoeba, which is fun. You can also catch me here on Thursdays, where I'm in New Amsterdam, where I play Cachette, who, he's in the money. He's in the money. Mira gave me like 150,000 eddies.
True.
Granted, half of that is going. No, that's after.
Mm-hmm.
You can also find me here. So yeah, he's got a lot of money. And you can find me here this Friday, where for the first time for 2 weeks in a row, we will be playing the Immortal War, where, seriously, this isn't just me advertising my show. Go back, and if you haven't seen it, watch last week's episode,
Oh yeah.
because it's a fucking trip.
Yeah, it was awesome.
It was
It
wild.
Great.
It went from really good character stuff to wild. I think that's everything for me. So goodbye.
Okay,
And
now
I
for
don't-
everyone that was not Rowan, send me your player's choice because you haven't done it yet. And
Oh,
then, yes, if you'd like to go next because you have friends over, please.
It is not that. It is that I have to go to the bathroom so bad. Hello,
Oh.
everybody. My name is Mira, also known as Win5Get, or no, also known as Mira Shades Gaming. And today, you caught me playing Clan Nasaravi, the ultimate apex predator of swarm killing. I think everyone at the table will agree. Yeah, you can also catch me on Thursdays, where I am in New Amsterdam. I run New Amsterdam, rather, where all sorts of crazy shit's going on. Come in and check that shit out. We've got all sorts of weird shit getting woven. Catch me on this coming Friday, where I play Hiroki, who's about to be in a big old bunch of bad stuff. So he's gonna have to get that shit figured out. And then you guys can catch me on this coming Sunday in Gloomfall, where I am playing Madame Yinvrath, the absolutely insane megalomaniac, who happens to also have her own little fucking burgeoning army starting, or at least some followers. And catch me on every other Saturday for After the Bomb, playing Adam McCarthy, much to the chagrin of his own name. He is definitely doing some crazy shit tonight. Or last time. He fucking no, he didn't actually. He's not doing crazy shit, but we did find a tank. We found a tank. We're pulling people out because we are their dads, and even though they are in a tank, you know, they can't argue, you know. But yeah, that is. Oh, if you want to catch me, if you want to have me run your game, check me out at mirashadesgm at gmail.com. If you are watching us right now on YouTube, thank you so much. Catch us on twitch.tv at twitch.tv/pair_o_dice_theater. Catch us on YouTube at youtube.com/paradise theater, and catch us on Twitter at pair theater. Yeah, that's me.
All right, Aaron, don't forget to leave your vote.
Only then may you poo-poo.
Because we must control the bowels and bladders of everyone at the table.
All right, other than that, I love you. Have a good poo.
You're
right,
all
so-
assuming it's a poop. Anyway.
All right, thank you. Psychopathic, would you like to go next?
Maybe if I could stop laughing, y'all are funny.
Thank you.
Anyways, I'm Scott. I don't remember my name. I don't know. I played the little healer
Remeki.
dude. I tried to heal people. I tried to throw things at people, and that didn't work. And nobody got damaged enough for me to heal them. So whatever.
Just next week.
Okay. So what else? I'm in Thursday to New Amsterdam, where I made a new friend. He's warming up to me. We're becoming friends now. Maybe they won't hate me as much for having this constant bodyguard around. Maybe. And then tomorrow we have hopefully everything goes fine. We can do the little GURPS thing. That'll be cool. I'll be in that one. And then Saturday is after the ball, and I'm in that, and I didn't get as much yelled at as I thought I was going to be, but that's okay. Everybody survived, and we found a tank, and now we're going to get the tank out. Now I get to shoot somebody. They said I can shoot them now. They gave me permission this time. And then in Gloomfall, I'm in that one, and I'm raising a religious group of people to help out the group. Yeah. And I think that's everything.
All right. So Mira, Punham, Psychopathic, Jester. I believe that's you then.
Okay, all right, ladies and gentlemen. I am the Jester King Zerat. You've caught me here playing Fable 42, the android soldier slash precog from a doomed future. I have geared him up to some extent. I will be gone for a couple of weeks. We've got a big music festival here in town, and I'm going to be going to that and spending a lot of time listening to some music and getting drunk and, chilling. So I'll be out for a while, but when I come back, I look forward to continuing with Fable 42 because I'm really excited about some of the options I've got with this character now. But you can also catch me on every other Sunday for Gloomfall, where I play Jodem Frezim, the Drow-elf noble who pretty much appears to everyone to be little more than a fop with a mind, a spoiled noble with a mind towards business, at least some, aspirations toward, but secretly he's a telepath. Nobody knows. Dun dun dun. We'll see how long that lasts. Outside of that, I believe that's all I've got for right now, so I'll move this one down the line.
Which I believe, because computer isn't here, leaves me. Hello, everybody. I'm David the Gnome. Tonight, you saw me be a silly god and let some crazy stuff happen. We learned some things about mechs that, well, I couldn't find anywhere on the internet, and were kind of confusing in the book. So, canon is now what it is, and we will remember that for next time because everyone, bookkeeping, gets 700 experience, which is just enough to raise. And, Rowan, you go ahead and give yourself an extra 300 for a full 1,000 because you won Player's Choice. Woo!
Thank you. Does that go to both characters or
Yeah,
just one? Nice.
he's already far behind. This is the only thing I do. I will get better at it as it goes on. I promise everyone. And other than that, I'd like to remind you that tonight's episode was brought to you by Boards, Booze, and Bitches. It's food worth dying over. If you'd like to have a Boards t-shirt, you can get that on my friend Amy Geddon's T Public site. She has other cool designs there. Check it out. She also has a custom like sticker and other thing place that is called, remind me?
Not Nerd Art by Amy. It's Hype Graphics.
Yeah,
Hypegraphics.co because
hypegraphics.co.
the M is expensive.
Yes. Check out her stuff there. She'll make you what you want. She's got decent prices, good shipping. Give her a shot. She's amazing. My friend Purple Codex also has a T Public site. She has some cool stuff on there. Check that out. And let's get Robbie Kidlaw and get out of here, guys.
Robbie
Kala!